So you want to create a funnel or a website within HighLevel, but you need a domain or a subdomain to attach to that new funnel and or website. So here are the steps to either create a new subdomain or domain, and this is how you actually connect it. Now, in this particular case, my main website domain is connected over in Squarespace. All right, so the very first thing you want to do is decide what you want to create. Are you looking to create maybe a main domain like yourbusinessname.com, or are you looking to create a subdomain like policies.yourbusiness.com, right? That would be an example of a subdomain. So let's take a look. So here you see my main, right? Business domain. And you'll see here I have multiple subdomains. All right. So what you want to do is make sure that you log into the specific sub account in HighLevel, and then you will go into settings down here on the left side, and then you'll just click on domains. All right. And so this takes us back to where we started. So from here, you want to select the domain that you want to create a subdomain for. All right. In this particular case, and for me, we're going to do connect. And this is specifically going to be for a funnel that we're going to use to create our A2P policies and forms and all of those things so that we can submit for A2P verification. So in this particular case, we are going to select the very first option here, but you'll see that there's an option if you want to create a subdomain or domain to use for emails. If you want to do this for a WordPress site, if you want to create a client portal. So for example, when you are working with clients and you want to give them the opportunity to have access directly to HighLevel so they can go in there for their own business purposes, you can go in and let's say that you want to create a domain or subdomain off of their main business domain called marketing.theirbusiness.com, right? So now we're creating a subdomain that still is in line with their branding, but the subdomain, which is the marketing, which is the piece that plugs them directly into HighLevel. And of course, you can create another branded domain. But for this particular purpose in this video, we are going to create a subdomain so that we can attach to the funnel that we are going to create to help us get A2P certified. So we're going to do connect, and it's basically asking us, okay, this is the main domain because that's the one that we selected on. What do you basically want to create this for? So I am going to do this as policies .dmgrowstudio.com, or should I do A2P? We'll stick with policies. All right, so we'll go with policies because this is the sub portion of my domain. And I'm just going to click continue. And so it's basically letting me know that, hey, you want to connect this particular domain, right? And what I'm going to do, because my Squarespace is not connected to this specific Google account, I'm going to record this information manually. So you'll see there's only one record that I'll need to add to my Squarespace information, and it's just one CNAME. All right, and as soon as I add that, we're going to be able to verify the record. So one moment while I go get over into Squarespace. All right, so I am now logged into my Squarespace account. And once you log in, now, of course, these specific steps will differ depending on where your domain lives and where it's hosted. Again, this is specifically for Squarespace. Your domain could live in GoDaddy or some other place. All right, but for this particular case, we're over in Squarespace. And so once you click on domains at the very, very top, you will simply just want to select the domain that we need to add the record for. So once we've selected that domain, the very next thing for us to do over here on the left side is to go ahead and click on DNS, and that's going to take us into the settings so that we can add this one CNAME record. And once we click on DNS, it's going to basically take us to a new page where we're going to see all of the different records that we have attached to this specific domain. Now, in this particular case, I'm simply just going to just kind of switch back and forth. Let me see here. Give me one. All right, so I adjusted my screen just a little bit so you guys can now see that the right side, this is the CNAME that we'll need to basically add over. And so it gives us quick and easy ability to simply copy and paste. And so the record type that we're going to create is a CNAME. And so that's where, and of course, once you get over, let me take a quick step back over here in Squarespace, once you click on DNS within that specific domain, you'll just want to scroll down to the custom records and click on add records, and then it will open up at the very top just under add records, basically for you to add the new record. So our type is going to be CNAME, and that's this. Our host is going to be policies. And you'll see host here. So again, copy and paste. Your TTL, you want to put this at the lowest amount possible. This means this is the amount of time that it typically is going to take for this particular record to be updated. So we don't want to, have to wait a week for this to get updated and recognized. We want 30 minutes or less, whatever the least amount of time is for that. And then our required value, again, we're going to copy that, and that is going to go under alias data. All right. And so just like that, we've got our new CNAME, we've got our host, which is policies, and we've got our value, which is our alias data, and we're simply going to click save. And once we do that, all right, we'll give it just a moment. And I'm just going to pause it here while it refreshes, and then we'll go back over into HighLevel to verify those records. So we're back in HighLevel, and I've given it just a moment. So from here, all we need to do is click on Verify Records. And once it's able to verify, this little pop-up box here is going to go away. And let's see. Typically, it refreshes pretty quickly. We'll give it just a moment. There we go. Perfect. And so now we've not only created a subdomain, we've connected it to basically where our domain lives, and we verified that subdomain that we just created now in HighLevel, which means now I can attach policies.dmgrowthstudio.com. I can now connect that specific subdomain to any one of these products here. Now, in this particular case, again, this is going to be for a funnel specifically. Now, if I already had the funnel created, I would just simply select the drop down and I would select that funnel. Just make sure that once you connect that particular subdomain or domain and you select the product that you want to connect it to, make sure you hit this little drop down here for the additional options, and make sure you also select the first page of that funnel or your home page of the website or whatever it is. Make sure you select the same page from this selection here. Make sure you also select that for your default as well. So that way, in case anybody, especially if you're using it for your main website, in case maybe there's a broken page or a broken link or whatever, you don't get that 404 page error. It'll always reroute people either back to the home page of your website, or it'll reroute them back to the first page of that funnel. Now, once you select both of those, you go ahead and click on proceed to finish. In this particular case, I have not built the funnel yet that this particular subdomain is going to be connected to, but that'll be in a different video.